everyone. Welcome to this afternoon's after school club for ages 6 through 10. Today we're continuing on our little platformer. We didn't have any class club session last week where we got to do stuff, but we didn't because it was Labor Day. So we're actually continuing on from 2 weeks ago of making our platformer. But before I do that, I need to go over to our after school website here. If you go to dospace.org/after school, there's like all these little tabs. This is junior designers. When you click on it, you get a description of the class and what we're doing today. We're making collectibles and adding sound effects. And if you scroll down even more to activities archive, there's the videos, junior designers for this day, the 24th, and the 31st, where we were learning how to use Flowlab and make our little platformers through here. If you haven't done it before, you might have to look for the archives because this is part 3 of our platformer. It says right in the description where we're finishing up our little platformers. You can still watch, you can ask questions, and all stuff such as that. And again, I'm going to go show you the example of the finished platformer. It's going to be a little bit different from what we're doing in today because it's not going to, we're not, well, depending on how much time we have. I'm not going to make a promise on that. I was going to exclude taking damage, but maybe we'll have enough time to do so. So I got a character moving around. There's sound playing. I'm not sure if you can hear it because I don't think I'm sharing sound right now. But I have these little stars I can collect. You see this upper right number is going up as I collect stars. And I'm traveling around. And there's these spikes right here. Oh, as I hit the spike, that number goes down. And if I hit it one more time where it goes 0, it resets my game. Back to my beginning. So if I'm going way too fast, before we start, I want to say this. If I'm going way too fast, you can definitely say in chat, hey, you're going way too fast here. Can you repeat this thing again? I am very much willing to do that. Oops, clicked it again. Just trying to get in. I still have some fun with making this. And if you have any, comments you want to say, you can say stuff like that too. In the next week, we're working a space game here. I'm going to ask everyone like what type of spaceship we can do, have a little bit more interaction. Yeah, today we're just kind of working with finishing this up. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my one that I've been working on with you guys from the previous weeks, the game that I had. So I'm going to edit. This is flowlab.io if you've never seen this before. It's just straight up flowlab.io. Posting the link right into chat. There we go. And that's what we're working on. If you remember from earlier, we added our character, change the hair color. You can also add a character, change skin color, maybe the clothes, or maybe eye color, and then we made a space with little blocks that move around. There are some spikes, and we talked about designing how to make sure our game starts off easy for people to know how to learn how to play it, and then get progressively harder as we go through the game. So again, if you have any questions, you can type in chat. We are now gonna get started here. We'll definitely open up the past projects we've been working on here. And our goal is today to make a collectible where you can collect maybe stars or something. And then maybe you'll have time to take damage. Might be able to do that. And add music and sound effects here. Really customize this the way we want. So, as a designer here, when we're making games, we might want to add a little bit more challenge, like optional challenge, where if you collect all these things, it gets you something special. Or maybe, want some coins where you collect coins, you can go to a shop and buy stuff, do something like that. So a lot of games have collectibles that you can do stuff with or help unlock something later on, like a secret level or something. Just adds a little extra challenge into the game. Could be optional challenge too, or if really hard to collect stars or items. And it just makes, you know, things a little bit more fun for people. So to create an object again, I could just left click anywhere. I don't really have an object for my collecting yet, so I'm just gonna click right here, just anywhere, and then I'm gonna click on create. And I'm gonna name the stars. You can name it coins. Think of an object you wanna collect, like maybe toys or crystals, like little cute blue, purple crystals. I'm just gonna go stars, and I'm naming it under type here. And then I'm going to click on edit sprite right here. There we go. And as before, we just click on browse again and then select category. But yeah, before it's browse, we can go through there to change our image here. I'm going to choose pixel objects as one of the objects, things that we have supplied by the website here. And here's all the things. Oh, we could have done fruits. There's coins. Keep going down, there's grass, some hearts, a gem, I think, a flag, blocks, pickaxe, mushrooms. There's a star right there. But you don't have to do a star, you can do like something else. You maybe add a story to it, maybe collecting boxes or treasure, but I'm going with star. There we go. So I just click on it and it changes it to a star right here. And if I'm satisfied with this, I can go like, yep, I'm good. Or I can add a smiley face on this. What's the color I have? I'm gonna change my color here. I'm just doing a little optional thing right now. I'm just gonna add a little. Here we go, smiley face. Okay, yeah, and it looks like it's smiling right there. And click OK. Now I'll click and hold down. I can drag my star around to where I want it. I'm going to edit the face again. Eyedropper. Click OK. There we go. That's a much better smiley. No, just customizing how I want it to be. Okay, so we got our star. I click play. I jump onto it. Nothing's happening. And I'm kind of going through. Like I can stand on my star. That's not what I want here. Gotta change things here. What can we do? Well, what we could do first is go to edit. And maybe we want to make it where we can't stand on it. So we can go to physics right here. I'll circle it. There we go, physics. And then I want to click on this part that says is solid. There it is. It's highlighted right now. I want to uncheck it so I don't, land on it. Okay, and I just changed something, so we're going to test it. Here we go. And I'm not standing on it anymore. But what do we need to do next for our collectible? Yeah, think about it. Add some suggestions on chat if you want. But think about what do we do with collectibles? We collect it, obviously, but think more specifically what happens. Now, you maybe think of another game where Minecraft, for example, we like cut some trees down and these little wood blocks come off. And when our character touches the wood block, what happens to it? You don't have to do I saw the raise hand function go up. You don't have to do raise hand. You can just type right into chat. Suggestions there. Yeah, like what happens when we touch the wood in Minecraft? Where does it go? What happens? Does it just, does it happen like what we have here where, the wood just kind of stays right here, just kind of hanging out, or maybe like, I haven't played too much of Roblox, so I don't know what happens there. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you think about that. And then, so when I think about like a character, if it's collectible, a character probably gonna touch the object. And then give this a little bit amount of time. Maybe what happens next here is that maybe this disappears, you know, to let us know that we've collected it. Like that touches the object right here, and I click going on, and it's still there. My player's probably going to turn around and try to keep touching it to make sure something happens or give up eventually and move on. So we need to make this disappear when our character touches it. So now I'm going to go to Edit Game. And then I'm going to click on my star, and then Edit. There we go. And if you remember from 2 weeks ago, we played a lot with behaviors. We got our character walking through behaviors. So this is a behavior. Like if you want to have it to do something, we think, oh, I need to add a behavior. There you go. So this is a very specific name that's used in a lot of different type of game development engines or programming for different things. When something like touches another thing, it's usually called a collision. And we can find collision under triggers. Right here, collision. Click on that. There it is. The object has disabled collision, so collision, oh. I have to fix that. Darn, I was really hoping it will let me make it where it doesn't go off. So we have to go and do that thing we did earlier. Go to physics, solid. Or wait. Enable collisions. Oh no, we can just enable collisions. There we go. We don't have to check solid, just enable collision under physics. There we go. Now we should be good. So I went to triggers, collision, right there. And so as my character touches the other, it disappears. There's a thing called destroy in here. I always have to try to remember where it is. I think it's in their components. Yep. So you go to components and then click destroy. There you go. Yeah. And all you have to do is grab hit and connect. Here, so when collision happens, destroy self. And we don't have to exit this yet. We can just click on the little test button on the bottom left right here. There. To test without exiting this. So I'm walking around and jumping. Oh, it worked. It went away. I'm gonna stop, test it again. Jump. It went away. You need to see there's a little one that popped over here that I fired off. There you go. So if you have multiple objects in here relating to thing, if you click on collision right here, and there's a thing right here that says any type, you can make it specific to the object that you're having a collision with. So this is having a collision with player. Actually, I'm going to show you what happens when you do stars. So collision with star destroys play. Oh, it stayed. I was thinking maybe, look, now it's not working because there's not another star colliding. But I was thinking since it is stars, it might, destroy itself when it starts, but no, I didn't do it. So I'm going to go to collision, any type, but you can specify, for us, it's player. If you don't remember what you've named other things, you can just click on the object, exit out of behaviors, and then click on the object, edit, look at type. This one's name's player. Edit, type stars, and that's why I specific earlier about give it a name. Now, I could have two different objects. I'm going to clone this one. So this one right here is named object 105, type stars. This one's here is 104. So I could have it where it's only with there's only one object of players, but if I go to stars, I can change it where this only happens with a very specific object. So that one star, 105, that was off to the right there. So you can give those names too. But we keep this back to player because there was only one example of player. And we're good on that part. Now I test, jump, that one goes away, and that one goes away. Okay, so now I have them disappearing. What would happen next? Think about your player, collects them, but why did they collect them? Did they need them for something, or is it just a goal? Yep, it was just a goal for them to collect. But we want to tell our player, hey, you did something. It was good. And we can do that with a label. Again, you can like interact also in chat, you know, answer my little suggestions here. Maybe it's this or maybe it's that. Okay. And you should be able to like click on chat or tap on chat and type right in there. Okay. And again, if it's going too fast, let me know. I can go back and repeat the thing again. Here's my stars. If you don't remember how to clone, you can just click edit. No, click on it, then clone, and we're going to multiples them. The next thing we're going to be doing here is that we're going to make a little label. So we make it a collectible. We're going to make a label that with the 0 next to it, where the number goes up as we collect more stars. Okay, so that's going to be thinking if we're trying to get to do something when my character goes to the star, then something happens. So that's going to be with behaviors. But you might think of going to the star behavior. But the thing is, this star destroys itself after it's collected. So any changes that happens afterwards won't be registered and show us at all. So we're going to actually add the behavior to our player because our player exists the whole time. So I'm going to go to click on my player, click edit, then click on behavior. Here's our little walking movement right here. If this is a little too easy, and you want to add some extra things where your character doesn't jump all the time, you can look at the archives for the older section. We add a little thing like where it stops your character from jumping forever. Up there. You can always take a look if you want. But yeah, we got our star, and we're thinking, remember before what we did, you know, with the star for it to get to disappear when we touch it. It's gonna make kind of the same thing there, except for the opposite. So you thought, maybe we need to add a collision. That's right. So I'm gonna click on collision. There we go. I'm gonna click on it. Now we're under a player. So we go under type, you can choose stars because that's a different object, okay? And think about what happens next. So if you plan to have a number on the screen, you probably need the number. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was looking at outages and it looks like Zoom went down. I'm sorry, I was talking to another person about our outage, but yeah, it looks like Zoom went down for a bit. But luckily, you guys were able to get back in just fine. It was only down for a moment. I tried like logging back in and it was me, my Facebook trying to share it to live right there. Yeah, I had this problem where I couldn't connect. And as you notice, our Facebook Live isn't working either. As you saw, I don't know, things are just weird with Zoom today, but yeah, luckily I still have this up. We can continue working on it. Hopefully there isn't another outage anytime soon. But yeah, what are we doing here? Oh yeah, we're making collectibles. Yeah, so we had a hit. I'm gonna go play, test. Okay, so we know it fired off. I'll do that again. Pay attention to this line right here. So I got hit going to set for 1. So it's working, but it's not going to do anything yet because we haven't used anything else, but we don't want it to set it to 1. Think about as we collect each star, every time we make a hit, it sets it to 1 every single time. We don't want that. We don't want to make it count up 1. So I'm going to click on this and undo that. Change this as plus. If you're not sure what things are in here, as a reminder, you can always click on it, click on what's this, and you get like, it took over my full lab thing, but you get like, oh, someone said cat. Yeah, cat. Do you have a collectible? I hope you're making collectible cats. That's awesome. It'd be cool to collect all the cats and stuff, or you have a cat around. I love cats, they're adorable. Yeah, going back here, they click on what's this. You have like all those little descriptions here. If you don't understand what's in here, you can always ask a grown-up what this means and they can help you out. But this plus right here says plus adds the input value to the current value, then results will be sent to the output. That means, let me click back, hopefully it takes me back. Yes, it does. Yes. What that means is that whenever something or input happens in, oh, the cat's pressing, okay. think I forgot that sound internet that the cats make, but yeah, whenever we collide with a star, oops, that's not the one I want to go to. It adds 1. Did it save it? No, it didn't save it. I'm gonna grab that. I need type stars. Okay. And then number from logic and math number. There we go. Back where we started. So what happens is every time this player makes a collision with a star, it adds 1 instead of setting 1. And again, nothing's going to happen if they test this right now. Oh, actually, yes, it does. I'll do that again. But we see that number just changed to 2. And I add there, it changed to 3. So each time a collision happens, it adds a number. Okay. And I test 2, 3. My number went up. Now, if I exit out of this and play my actual game, I don't have that number showing at all. So I need to tell my player how to how many stars they've collected somehow. So how can we tell our player how many stars they've collected? Maybe you can make a voice recording. It says, you got 1. You touch the next star. You got 2. Touch the next star. You got 3. Or make a different sound effect. Or maybe make the screen flash, but that's not very helpful for everyone because it could hurt some people if the screen flashes too much. So, if you're looking for all the tools in here, we can also look through all the options we have. We got sans, emit, point at. But if you go to GUI, there's this thing called labels, GUI. Now circle that, GUI. GUI is another way we call it. It's called Graphics User Interface. Graphic User Interface, I'm gonna change my color here, is stuff like hearts on our screen that gives us data. You might think graphics, it might be everything, but no, it's very specific to information that we're giving to people. It could be a thing that says start. That'd be a little UI, graphic user thing. Got start, and there's a button right here, it says start. Zoo, yeah, maybe I can do, you raise your hand. If you got something to say, you can type it in chat. Or yeah, I can do zoo for a button. There, I can make this whole thing a zoo too, and I click on it, and it's this 2D thing that hovers, but my character itself can't interact with it, but it's giving me information here. So I'm gonna make a thing called a label. Right there. There's my label. And if I click on my label, I get all my options again. Again, I get what's this? Might have to redo stuff. I don't know why it's not giving me a new tab, but I click on label. It gives me all the information. Text displays the text and type a message here, font, size, value, and stuff. You can put in there. Tips label can be repositioned by dragging it, all that extra stuff. Now let's see if it's saved. Because I clicked on what's this again, and okay, good. Here's. There we go. So labels under GUI, graphic interface, label. There we go. So I click on it. Oops. I get a thing right here that says label at top. And I'm going to just change this one to stars. Or for you maybe, if you're collecting cats, you change it to cats. Colon. Because I want to, I could put a number on the screen. You saw an example before. It was just a number. But when you first looked at it, you're probably like, what are these numbers for? Maybe we need to give it some type of name next to it to tell our players what it is exactly. We got in chat a bunch of periods and commas and slashes. I wonder if that's the cat again. So for me, it's stars. So I'm going to do stars. You got coins. You can type coins. Type stars right there. Right below that, This 858889 thing, that's the color code. Right next to it's a square if you want to change the color. I can just click on it, get this big giant wheel. I can change the color. I'm just gonna go with black right here. So make sure it's easy. Like you wanna go by, like if your background color is green, probably go black. But if it's like a dark color, like dark blue or dark purple, probably wanna make it white so people can see it. Go on black right here. Yep. And then this right here is what the size. I'm gonna click OK temporarily so I can move this around. It's kind of hard to see, but the word stars is right here. It's kind of faded for right now because we're in this little behavior editor, but we got stars right here. I'm gonna click on this again, got stars. This next thing right here, I got the size. So maybe if I change the size a lot, you'll be able to see it change. There you go, that's the size. I'm gonna make it 8. Make it whatever size you want, but you don't want to make it too big where it blocks everything. No, it could make the game harder unless you want to. I'm gonna bring it up to 8. I wish I could type a number in here, but we got alignment. It's left, center, right. If I click center, center. It doesn't center at the screen. It just makes it center oriented. I could give it an outline or a shadow. This part about weight is the weight of the outline or shadow. Click OK and play. There's stars. And I go around. There's my stars label, but there's no number next to it. But I got stars right there. Now, what if you want this on the right side instead of the left side? What if you want to move it? I'm gonna click stop and click OK. I'm gonna go back to my main game editor outside of behaviors. I'm gonna click OK. Now back here, and there's like this faded word right here. It says stars. When we play the game, it shows it in the color we want it in, but it just stays faded to let us know that this is UI. If I left click on it and drag it around, I can move it. I'm gonna bring it to the bottom right of my screen if I wanted to. I'm gonna bring it to my upper right here. You can put it anywhere you want, but you might lose it if you like bring it down here. Like, where is it? Oh, there it is. You might, yeah, just be careful where you place it because you can't lose it. And you're like, where did it go? Okay, but yeah, stars right here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my player. Then edit and behavior. There's stars right here. So now we need it to show a number right here. And if you want to show something, it's probably a label again. It's probably something to do with the graphic user interface for showing information on the screen. I'm gonna grab label again. So I went to GUI, G-U-I, label is label. I'm gonna left click on it. I'm gonna type 0. Here we go, 0. So this is a number that I'm gonna be changing. It goes up, make the text black. Bring this down to 8 to match the font size. If you're looking for it showing up in the upper left, that's where all the stuff starts at. There we go. And you might be thinking, why are you starting this at 0? Why don't you just type, a number here? Well, I'm starting this at 0 because we have no stars right now. You could start maybe if it's something like collecting, like giving out something, like giving out presents or like giving out cats. You can start at 10 and subtract from it. But we're starting at 0 here for this. Click OK. And what we do here, if you look closely, there's a thing that says value on the label. Value. This part right here, this is out means output. So if again, like with computers and such, whatever you type in a keyboard is input, it shows up on your screen as letters. And as you see it on your screen come back to you, it's output. So input from here, it's actually the plus right here. And then the output is the total number in here. They put it right into value, outputs into value, that total number. So it's going to change the 0 to the number we've hooked up here. I click play, test. You see that number right here went up, 3. I don't have any more stars, so yeah, I went up 3. And of course I need to click OK and move this all the way over to my right. There it is. I'm gonna play. Go 2. That starts with 2 because the label is a little bit broken right now with how they developed things. For some strange reason, it counts from, what is it? It counts from 1 first instead of 0. So I could go in here and do like -1. Monster Jam. Oh, you're gonna call yours Monster Jam? Okay. It's gonna be really weird to start at -1, but I touch 1 now. Adds 2. Huh. That's weird. Edit behavior. Oh. That's probably why. There we go. So I just changed this back to 0 because this every time I hit, I add 1 anyways. So what's happening is it setting to 1 and then adding 1 to it and setting to 2 up here. So there we go. We're going to keep that at 0 and be okay. So we got our collectibles. We don't have enough time to do make the game reset if we hit the pointy spikes and stuff like that. But what we could do is add music. Music's always fun. So if you always want to do stuff like that, to add music, I have to remember what it is. I think it's under components. So I'm under behaviors on my player again. I'm gonna go to components. Yes, it is. It's under components. There's sound. Click on sound. There we go. So we got a little sound effect here. If I click on it, I get this option to choose sound or choose sound from a website. I'm gonna choose, I'll talk about that a little bit. I'm gonna choose sound, and this is my background music. So I'm gonna click on music. I got 8-bit. I'm gonna do fantasy. And I click on it, it previews the sound. I'm not sure if I'm sharing sound right now, so you probably don't hear the sounds I'm hearing. But if you got your sound up, you can click on these to listen to them. And making decisions here, maybe I want space instead. Yeah, I'm gonna do space 13. Click OK, click OK. And of course I won't be able to show you an example of this right now. But I click play, no music's playing right now at all. We need something to start it. See, think about this label here. As soon as I put this down, it lets me put stars right here. But sound, we have this little thing that says play on here. So we need something to start the sound. So to go to triggers, triggers are things like activate based on different things like collisions, once, always, timers, based on a click, a keyboard, something that activates something else. There's a thing called once right here. It means it just happens as soon as you start the game, happens. And this little output right here, I put it right into play, and if I test, my music's now playing. Just trust me on that if you don't hear it. My music's now playing. Yeah, but this song here, if I click on it, it's giving me an example right now. It's only play. It's if the song's 2 minutes long, and I'm in this level for 2 minutes longer, it's gonna stop after a while. So there's this thing called loop on here that just repeats the sound. As soon as it ends the song, it'll start it over. So I'm gonna click on loop. There we go. Okay. So the last thing here we're gonna do is add a sound effect. So we got music, but we need a sound effect. I want a sound effect for whenever I collide into these stars. So I'm gonna go to components, go to sound, click on sound. I got some things in the way. Choose sound. I'm gonna go effects. So you can't upload your own sounds in here too, but I'm just going with the ones they provided. That's a great thing with FlowLab. You just have the art and the sounds already in here, so you don't have to go find images yourself and make them. You can make them, for fun, but some cases we just want to make our game right now. I'm gonna do, for stars, I could do something like slide, whoosh, chime, pop, electric explosion, alert. I'm gonna do chime. I'm like previewing all the sounds right now. I actually don't like them. Go back to effects. I could have gone back right here. I'm gonna go with pop. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, here we go. So how do we play the sound here? So think about it. When my character touches an object, it's probably when I play the sound. When I say touch, hit, overlap, that's a collision. So here's our collision right here. Hit. So when it fires off, play sound. You can actually connect multiple things into the same little bubble. So I got this line right here. And I'm gonna play. You see up here, they pushed once so it's playing, and then they move around, jump. You see that there, fired off, 1. And it played the pop sound. So if you're testing behavior, you're like wondering, why isn't this thing working? You can actually go into testing right here and watch like the little lines highlight. So that's a 1 right there. There we go. So I can always click on my stars, click clone, and just add them about my level. You can like finish off your level however you want. Yeah, so we got collectibles in there. Again, if you want to know some extra information about collisions, next week we'll have the video from the earlier session today that goes into details about like the little spikes and how to make it where you give your character lives and have it where your character lose a life when you touch spike and then reset the level when it goes to 0. Yeah, there we go, play. And there is our platformer. We have finished our platformer. So next week, we are going to make a space game. We have like spaceships flying around, and there's some asteroids that we have to protect, like Earth or some other thing against it. And yeah, it'll be like a top-down movement. We get free movement. Don't have to worry about gravity. Here, jump. I definitely encourage you to try that for things like, oh, I should probably do something where it resets the level when I fall off. Oops. I could do a quick thing for you guys where you have to click on the spike. If you have spikes, I'm just gonna go spike, edit, behaviors. I'm just gonna do a thing with the collision. So there's a collision right there. Collide with player. I'm doing this really quickly here. If you go to game flow on the side, there's a thing called restart game. If you make a collision, go with restart game. So every time we touch a spike, it resets the game. That's one way to do it. There's still way more to it. Like have a number and stuff and damage, but it's a quick way to have it for now. And I'm gonna clone this, put these spikes right here. So I don't have to worry about my character falling off indefinitely. So the game feels much more complete. There we go. Oh, game resets, there we go. And I could actually have it just outside of the screen. I need to go to my character, edit behaviors. And did I show you guys the camera? There's the camera. I'm just clicking on the zipper to see where the bottom is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, with my camera. So my spikes don't show on the screen. Okay, here's my game. Nope. Jump down and game resets. There we go, without seeing the spikes. Yeah, and that's it for the platformer. Like I said, next week we will start our space game. The next upcoming week, you can watch today's video. And of course, you won't be able to look at Facebook right now and see it because we were having Zoom problems, not be able to connect to Facebook and going out. But thank you very much for coming, watching today, signing in. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.